This podcast is part of the Famous Original Podcast Network family. You can find us by going to www.fopnet.biz.
All over. Contains strong language, strong opinions, and strong beers. It is not meant for children or for those who think they are children. You know who you are.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.
Welcome to episode 96 of Dumb All Over. Recording from where wings take dream, Pennsylvania. This is a progressive podcast with brash opinions on politics, religion, and pop culture. And we're always under the influence of craft beer. On this week's episode, we will talk about yet another shooting, Trump's wildfire comments, all the rage these days, Trump and Saudi Arabia, Andrew Cuomo and Amazon, and a quick election update. And I say quick because it's got to be quick. And we also get our monthly pop culture update from Kevin of the Nerdy Things podcast. A lot of stuff going on. You are back in Pennsylvania.
Yes, I'm here.
We are
put
in
food
studio.
on my family.
Yeah. Where wings take dream. Greatest quote, any president. Trump, you could try, and he's trying to top that.
Trying very hard.
But he's failing.
Yeah.
I can't think of something stupider than that.
Only you can rake the forest.
Oh, God. Well, welcome back to Pennsylvania, my friend.
Yeah, I'm not so sure whether to thank you about that.
And you brought beer.
I did bring beer.
And we're in studio, by the way. We haven't been in studio together for an actual recording in a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
It's been a while. Sorry. I got all the bad songs in my head today. I don't know what's going on.
You're full of it today.
Yeah, I'm full of a lot of stuff. We are drinking the one and the only Weyerbacher.
Mm-hmm.
And if you were a betting person, I bet you can bet on what fucking drink Austin got. I'm pretty sure what happened is he robbed Weyerbacher, stole only the Imperial Pumpkin Ale.
No.
That's it.
Even if I did rob Weyerbacher, they don't have any left.
Because you took it all.
No. I wasn't even here to take it all. That's why I was so mad the last time I went.
Oh,
I was like, I didn't even get to have any.
Well, you found it somewhere.
I did.
It is ale. You know what? Fuck it. Go back to the last 36 episodes, and I'm sure you'll hear an explanation of what it is. It's a pumpkin beer that Austin is addicted to. And now, since we're in studio, and if I could get Austin's attention off his phone, we can do a cheer, and not a symbolic cheer, as Austin points out in the following.
Yeah, one of the segments. I can't remember which one.
Segments from now that hasn't happened yet. Cheers, Austin.
Cheers. Oh,
that was good. It's so much
and
better.
And their full glasses, so it has that deep, that deep
the
resonance.
reverb.
All right.
Oh God!
Wow.
I just wish it was the first one of the night.
I have to say, I love this beer very, very much.
Oh, I couldn't.
And I'm not sure. Well, I have to say, for our live stream, we had Mad Elf, which is my other favorite
Very
beer.
good. Very good.
So this has been quite the couple weeks.
What is this? 8% ABV?
Yeah.
For those keeping score.
And that one's 11.
Yeah, that was
rough.
rough.
That's where the thing, you don't need as much during the Halloween, Thanksgiving season as you do during the Christmas season.
Sure.
Seems
absolutely. Yeah.
Like Trogs decided, no, we know you need 11% to visit your family.
And to get through the winter in general.
Yeah.
Winter just seems to take so long. Like, we got our first snowfall. Yeah. We got our first snowfall of the year up here in the Northeast.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, we got that mid-December. Or mid-November.
Yeah.
Normally.
And it was like the day before I was supposed to travel.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. So you didn't get back. You didn't come back for that, I'm guessing. Or
no,
did you?
I missed that.
Yeah, I'd imagine so.
No.
But you know what? Let's not waste any more time. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, we got to go.
We got to go. The Trump report.
No.
Have I done a good job? Have I done a good job?
Not at all. Probably the least of anybody you've ever met.
There's nobody that understands the horror better than me.
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
By the way, this is a real Trump report. We have a few Trump stories, but we're not starting with Trump.
Okay.
Because
Nobody ever does.
for the umpteenth time, we have to start with a shooting.
Yeah.
Okay, it's almost comical at this point because we joked around about how often we actually cover shootings last week, 2 weeks ago,
2 weeks ago, yeah.
and here we are again.
Yeah, it's becoming frightening. It's like...
Yeah. Now, maybe we just weren't as aware back then and they were happening, or maybe not.
I don't know. It seems... Well, yeah, maybe you're right. I don't know.
I don't know.
It seems like the intensity's picking up, but I could be wrong.
I'd like to find an actual statistic on it,
No.
not one like given by Trump and his goons. But we have another
Shootings
shooting.
are only at 0%.
Zero. They're the lowest they've ever been. They're -2. People are actually unshooting people. Don't ask how, but it's happening. It's happening right now.
I'm gonna unveil my plan.
Look, excuse me. I just unshot you. Isn't that great?
On Fifth Avenue.
On Fifth Avenue.
I'm unveiling my plan to get rid of all the amendments, but the second one.
So I'm going to start this article off by reading a tweet from the NRA. Always a good way to start the episode off. The tweet, I quote, "Someone should tell self-important anti-gun doctors to stay in their lane. Half of the articles in Annals of Internal Medicine are pushing for gun control. Most upsetting, however,
I wonder why.
the medical community seems to have consulted no one but themselves."
Because they're the ones who treat the shooting victims.
Now, this was on November 7th, 2018. This article is from today because something happened last night. And by that quote and that tweet, where do you think it happened?
Oh,
yes, at a hospital. Very good, Austin.
Hospital, yeah.
Less than
In
2
Chicago.
Well, yeah, I know. Less than 2 weeks after the NRA launched an attack on self-important anti-gun doctors, a mass shooting at a Chicago hospital has left 4 people dead. Emergency room doctor Tamara O'Neill, 38 years old, and pharmaceutical assistant Dana Less, 25, were shot and killed by an unidentified gunman following a domestic dispute at the Mercy Hospital and Medical Center on Monday. Police officer Samuel Jimenez, 28 years old, who recently completed his new hire probationary period, was also slain in the attacks. The fourth victim is the suspect. The suspect died at the scene from a gunshot wound, although it is unclear whether it was self-inflicted or from officers. So, 2 weeks after they post this about doctors not carrying guns in hospitals.
And now doctors are being shot.
Shot. Now, I don't know. Is it a coincidence or is there a correlation?
I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, it's hard to know. Like with that, knucklehead who was sending all those bombs to left-leaning people.
Right. That's not a coincidence.
No, it's clear correlation.
This
case, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
It is odd timing. It is odd timing that, hey, the NRA attacks doctors who don't carry guns, and then... Now, the unfortunate part about this, other than the murders, obviously, we'll never find out what the motives were.
No, we won't know.
Because he's dead.
Yeah.
And that's why I wish he wasn't dead. I just want to know. I've always been interested in the psychology of murderers. I always wanted to know why. Why did you think it was okay to go into a hospital and shoot 3 people?
Yeah.
Why? It says a domestic dispute. I'm guessing one of those ladies was probably seeing the gunman. I'm guessing. But you think it's okay to go into a public place like a hospital where you go to get saved from maniacs like yourself? I don't follow.
Yeah,
and I like learning
weird.
about that.
Yeah.
I just want to hear what he has to say about that. I don't know. I can't believe we got to fucking cover another shooting.
Another one, yep.
Another one.
Yeah. Well,
and there's not enough information for us to linger on this, unfortunately.
And if we wanted to not cover shootings, where in the world could we? Just about everywhere else.
Everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah, this happened to be in Chicago, which is not exactly known to be the safest city in the world. So some people.
But I bet that part of the city was.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it wouldn't be in the news.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. The article is "This is our lane." Doctors slam on NRA after Chicago shooting hospital.
Yeah.
The NRA may be one of the worst organizations in the world.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
I don't know if they're the worst, but they're one of the worst. You can't be posting tweets like that.
No.
You are literally the organization that is supporting all guns in this country, and you're saying, "Oh, these stupid doctors, they don't have guns when they're doing surgeries." Well, that's what.
Or like they don't know anything about guns.
Right.
They know the damage they can do, and that's all they need to know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's not enough information. I read the names of the victims, unfortunately.
It's funny because it's just like that would be like telling law enforcement people. It's like, you guys need to stay in your lane and stop telling us about crimes.
Exactly.
It's like they deal with crimes
every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
And this is the exact same situation. Now, again, I really don't believe that this is going to be a motive against doctors. The tweet probably has nothing related. If it's a domestic dispute, it's probably that exactly. But, I mean, you killed 3 people. You killed a police officer and 2 workers. One of them, doesn't matter who you kill. I don't care who you are.
Although, before this shooting happened, after the NRA said that, Ann Coulter had also weighed in, and she said that, like, doctors pull, certain objects out of people every day. It doesn't make them experts in those things. Like,
that's
like a pool baller. It doesn't make them an expert, pool player.
Okay.
And then a doctor retweeted her and said, "Well, we also see a lot of assholes, and you qualify."
That's a good one.
It's like, good for you,
But
Doc.
I mean, she could take exactly what she said about doctors and place it onto her own profession.
Yeah.
Whatever that profession.
Which is what? Being horrible?
I guess. But like your political policies, okay?
Yeah, if being like a frigid bitch were a profession.
But like, okay, so her political policies and her political beliefs, because she believes them, that makes her an expert in those exact things. She knows a little bit about healthcare. She talks about healthcare to other people.
She doesn't know anything about it.
So that makes her an expert on healthcare?
No.
It's like us. We talk about politics.
She doesn't even know anything about the thing that she does, which is write books. She's horrible at it.
Would you ever at any point claim that you're a political expert?
No.
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 And we do this every week.
Yeah.
For 96 fucking weeks in a row.
No.
That's a lot more than, like, people can't even hold jobs for 96 weeks in a row. And here we are.
Especially in this economy.
And here we are talking about politics. We're not experts.
No.
I have never told anyone that I'm an expert in politics. I understand politics.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make me an expert.
No, never, ever.
I have my policy beliefs.
Yeah.
I believe that something will work and something else wouldn't work.
No.
Does that mean it actually would? I have no idea. I'm not a fucking expert.
Well, the thing about politics is I'm not sure there are political experts. I think there are people who are experts in policy.
Right.
Like, you can talk to people who are healthcare experts. You can talk to people who are, college tuition advocates or something. That have studied the effects and know exactly. But
there are people who go to school for political science who
but those people are the most useless people on earth because because that's the problem, that they think they know. Mm-hmm. They think they know. But all they're taught is how politics works.
They have an understanding of how politics work.
But it's not that difficult to get that understanding.
For some people it is. For some people it is.
Apparently,
yeah. It definitely is.
Yeah.
We've elected Bush twice and probably Trump twice.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to understand.
Never underestimate the stupidity of the American people.
Never.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, apparently if you're a poli-sci major, they don't teach you anything but how to be cutthroat and try to get ahead. And it's like,
yeah. Well, so I'm going back to school starting in January, and my advisor, because I'm 2/3 of the way into a minor for, continue the sentence because it sounds bad right there, a minor into political science.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, maybe you should consider a minor in political science. I'm like, why? Why?
I think maybe you should, just to see what they say.
I mean, I think I'll have to do like 2 more classes, an American government class. And I'm afraid if I get an American government class, because last time I did, I almost got kicked out of the class because it was during 2016.
Oh boy.
I know. And there was it was a libertarian filled class, oddly enough. It was like, and it was so annoying. And I had to debate them.
Much for the crazy left-wing campuses.
See, crazy left-wing. Yeah. There was not one left-wing person. Well, there were the back row of class. The class was like this group of friends, and every single time we talked about policy, I always brought up Bernie because I was really on the Bernie boat back then, and they were literally in the back chanting Bernie, Bernie. So there was that one line of people.
One row of stoners in the back. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, 2 were definitely stoners. 2 were black kids.
Okay.
So yeah, Bernie people.
Yeah.
And it was just rough. And I'm afraid if I go back into that now with this podcast and all the politics and staying in touch with it, I might get arrested.
I'm just curious to see how centrist they are.
I might. Maybe I will.
I think most of the time they're centrist. But I'm surprised to hear there's libertarian.
Yeah. Listen, that last class, that political science class, it was an American government class.
And boy, would that give you, like, that's such a skewed view of how American government actually works.
There was this one girl.
Because most of, like, they could, if it's a libertarian teaching American government, they could just, basically be like, none of this should exist, and that would be the end of class.
And she was a libertarian. She said she voted for Gary Johnson last election, and she was planning on voting for him again.
See,
but she was a very good professor. She did not let policy get in the way at all.
I have a tough time trusting anybody who voted for Gary Johnson.
Take my word. She was very good with what she taught. She didn't let politics. Oddly
Did you
enough,
pull down a thing of the map and ask her where Aleppo was?
There was this girl in the back of the class who was
if she could find it, she's more qualified than Gary Johnson.
Well, this girl was really, really into libertarian politics, and I would always bring up the fact it's like, because especially after Bernie announced that he was no longer in it, and it was Hillary versus Trump, I was like, yeah, I'm supporting Hillary Clinton. And she's like, no, there's definitely another option. I'm like, I'm not voting for Trump. And she's like, no, I'm telling you, there's a third option. I'm like, no, there's not. You deluded fuck. There's no third option. I'm sorry. Jill Stein?
Yeah.
No. I hate to break it to you guys right now. There's no third option in this country, so stop being stupid. Sorry. How did we get to this?
I don't know. I'm sure that'll make a lot of people angry, but go ahead.
I don't care. I really.
So you can already tell Tom's a poli-sci major.
I just don't give a shit. Okay. This story, I didn't believe you when you told me, because I've been a little bit distant from politics again this week.
It's weird how people don't believe me. I always have to say,
I didn't believe you.
Believe me.
Yeah, I didn't believe you.
You've got to rake the forests. Believe me.
Stop. It's not helping. Wildfire evacuees not impressed with Trump's rake remarks.
Fake people.
During California visit. So I was like, wait a minute. Hold the fuck up. This is not an actual thing.
Fake people.
It's real. It's real. I'm skipping through the paragraph, or through all the paragraphs here. I want to read Trump's quote first, okay?
Okay.
Says, we will be talking about forest management. I've been saying that for a long time. It should have been a lot different situation. By the way, I didn't misread that. His exact word was, it should have been a lot different situation. He also mentioned Finland, saying that they, quote, spend a lot of time on raking leaves and cleaning and doing things to prevent forest fires. What?
Because of all the forest fires in Finland.
Wait a minute. Hold the fuck on.
And then, like, the representatives of Finland are like, can we tell you about other stuff we do? Nope. Sorry. Not interested in anything else you do, specifically your healthcare policy.
On Sunday, Finnish President Sauli Niinisto said that he discussed...
By the way, that has to be like one of the worst things to be like the Finnish president. Yeah. Because it just sounds like you're the last one. This is where the presidency is going to end. He's the
Finnish president. He said he discussed forest management with Trump during the recent Armistice Day events in Paris. We take care of our forest, Niinisto told Trump, mentioning surveillance and other methods, but admitted he didn't know where Trump concocted the raking idea.
Well, what else could that mean? What else could you take care of forests for?
You can't. You got to rake it.
What else could that possibly mean?
The idea of people going into forests and raking dead leaves is the funniest thing. First of all, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know the geography of Finland that well, but I'm pretty sure they're a coniferous country. Most of their trees are coniferous, which are needle-based trees. So it's not.
So
I don't think they're that
more
coniferous.
Like a brush.
It would be like a brush, yeah.
More brush, less rake.
Well, now, of course, Twitter had some fun with this.
Oh boy.
The hashtag Rake America Great Again was trending on Twitter, with some people.
Really? Not Make America Rake Again? That would have been a lot funnier.
I think that was another one, but this one I think had the most people talking about it.
What's wrong with you, Twitter? The other one is clearly funnier.
It was. I agree with you.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm going to read a couple of the tweets because they're fucking hilarious.
Okay.
There are 45 million acres in federal land in California.
45 million.
It costs $5,500 an acre to clean wooded forest or wooded land. So for only $252 billion per year, Trump could clean out the land. His next after the wall infrastructure project? ? Trump apparently had a quote back in January 8th, 2015 saying, "Who is paying for that tedious Smokey Bear commercial that is on all the time? Enough already."
Or not enough. Whatever.
Oh, man. It is just another comment that the president made that I can't believe.
I know, it's unreal.
Like, who somebody's got to check this guy, correct? No one checks him?
No, apparently not.
And you're like, was that planned? Was that part of the speech? Did somebody write that? Or did Trump just literally come up with that? He had to have just come up with it, I think.
Yeah. Nobody wrote that for him. No, that's just that's when he had his prepared speech.
Yeah.
And then went off and he's like, "Oh, and they just need to rake the forest."
Yeah,
Just rake them
because Finland does it. Well, no, they apparently don't, according to the president, Nunito.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on because we're, still in that time crunch here. So today, Tuesday the 20th, Trump came out and apparently is back on the side of the Saudi Arabians a whole month after their incident. So there's that. President Trump said Tuesday that the U.S. would maintain a steadfast alliance with Saudi Arabia in a defiant statement that made it clear Trump does not want the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi to disrupt the relationship between the two nations. So he's pretty much saying that his life didn't matter. Yeah. And Saudi Arabia can do whatever the fuck they want because we're still going to be friends with you.
Yeah.
All right. So this is another quote from Trump about this, okay? Quote, "Our intelligence agencies continue to assess all information." Okay? But it could well be that the Crown Prince had knowledge of this tragic event. Maybe he did and maybe he didn't, said the president, adding,
maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
That we may never know who was responsible.
We may never know how much he was responsible. Which is definitely a lot.
So then,
but not at all.
Trump goes on to say, "Hey, we're still buddy. We're still sucking off Saudi Arabia, and then
we're still good friends.
Yeah, oh, very good,
Eskimo brothers."
Oh yeah. Trump's announcement came in a 638-word statement issued by the White House's press office. It contained 8 exclamation points and began with the phrases "America first" and "The world is a very dangerous place." Yeah, it's dangerous in Saudi fucking Arabia.
Yeah. The world is a very dangerous place, especially when we prop up the people who make it dangerous.
Bizarre. Yeah. Bizarre. Now, of course.
But look, I've sold him lots of guns, and the NRA likes that.
No one is shocked that Trump is back on side with Saudi Arabia. We're not. We're only covering it because
I
it's
wish I could
news.
dismember journalists.
Yeah.
We tried with Jim Acosta.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, I haven't heard from him since.
Yeah.
Anybody know where Jim Acosta is? I don't know where he is. Only time I ever saw him was when he was interviewing Trump when he was asking questions. So he's not there. Now apparently he's back, I guess. And
don't worry, I'll have Ivanka fire off an email. It'll be fine.
Yeah, on her private server. What is this? What nightmare did we wake up into?
Yeah. Pensy, you use a private one, right? Too?
Oh yeah. I think Trump does too. I bet you he does.
I don't email. I tweet everything anybody needs to know.
That's true. So there's that. Trump's back on side with Saudi Arabia. I thought we should just cover that. And then
they're my good friends. They have as much gold as I do. The only people I know who also have a gold toilet.
They definitely do.
They only made Trump 2, one for me and one for KGLM or whatever his name is. MLS.
Yeah. Maybe
Major
not MLS.
League Soccer. Or whatever that sport is.
Our final story is actually was brought to our attention. Well, I mean, we knew from news sources, but
I know from living there.
We definitely wanted to talk about it. Thank you, Ron Wartrout, or the Wayward Willis, and many other podcasts. Governor Cuomo defends Amazon's HQ2 deal, denies New York gave $1.5 billion.
Yeah, it's and it's funny because they had this whole thing where they're like, "Oh, we're going to go around all these different cities and try to put our headquarters in all the cities are going to put together their best welcome package."
Yeah.
And all along,
It was New York and
Virginia, because they're both like within 5 miles of a house that Bezos owns.
Okay. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is defending the state's tax incentives for an Amazon second headquarters. HQ2 is just a fancy name of saying fucking second headquarters.
It's secondly like half a second headquarters.
True, because they split it.
Yeah.
In Queens, after much criticism.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Post, which is representative of extreme conservatives, says essentially that New York gave Amazon $1 billion. Cuomo wrote in an op-ed published on the state's website Monday, their argument is factually baseless.
Oh, they're writing op-eds on the state website now?
Yeah, I guess so. It's 2018.
Now, come on. If Andrew Cuomo wanted to write an op-ed, are you telling me the New York Times wouldn't be like, we'll run that?
I don't know.
It's like, no, we're just going to put it on the state website.
Yeah, that's a good spot that no one ever goes to.
You know, I like how that's called an op-ed.
Yeah.
But it's just a blog post.
It seriously is.
Yeah. It's like Bill Maher didn't call his stupid Stan Lee piece, an op-ed.
No.
It's my op-ed on Stan Lee.
Right. New York State and New York City gave Amazon nothing, according to Cuomo. The Empire State is kicking in more than $1.5 billion in taxpayer-funded incentives over the next 10 years for Amazon's second headquarters.
So how can he say they're giving them nothing?
Which will be split in 2 locations. The Seattle-based retail giant will create 25,000 jobs.
Oh, my God.
Each at 2 headquarter sites, plus 5,000 jobs at the new operations hub in Nashville.
But the thing is, what people have to understand is these 25,000 jobs aren't jobs for working people.
Right.
Because this isn't their warehouse.
No, it's
these
their
are
headquarters.
Tech jobs.
It's their headquarters.
Which people who need tech jobs already have them.
Sure.
And there's nobody in Long Island City who wants a tech job that doesn't have it.
Right. Well,
it's the working people in Long Island City that are worried about being pushed out.
Right.
And it's already happening.
Well,
because I heard that the real estate agents in Long Island City, they are selling condos so fast.
I'm sure.
That the real estate agents can't keep up.
Seriously.
And they are selling them for so much, there's no way renters are going to be able to afford staying there.
No way.
So they're just going to push everybody there out so that rich people who already have jobs can move in.
Yeah.
And gentrify the entire neighborhood.
Where in Queens is this?
Right across the bridge from Manhattan.
Okay.
It's the first stop.
Okay.
Right across.
Virginia, which is also part of this, which should mention, is offering fewer incentives, reportedly totaling just $573 million, prompting many to wonder if New York overpaid for Amazon.
They did.
The company said the cost per job for New York taxpayers is $48,000 compared to $22,000 in Virginia.
$48,000 per taxpayer.
Yeah.
That means that every taxpayer, which there's more than 25,000,
a couple more,
needs to get a job that pays at least $48,000 for it to be worth it.
Compared to 22 in Virginia, which is,
and that's still high,
and 13,000 in Tennessee, which is not. For Tennessee,
that's pretty high,
and for Tennessee,
yeah. But you have to think that these are tax breaks that the richest man in the world is getting for no reason. To do what?
Well,
Long Island City doesn't need Amazon there.
Here's this. Ready?
All right, go ahead.
Amazon, by our current tax structure, this is what we talk about all the time, would generate approximately $1 billion per year in new revenue, Cuomo said Monday. Our proposal offered that when and if those revenues are realized, the government would effectively reduce their $1 billion payment by about $100 million for a net to New York of approximately $900 million. New York doesn't give Amazon $100 million. Amazon gives New York $900 million. That's according to Cuomo.
Yeah, it's a lie.
Cuomo, who previously joked he changed his name to Amazon Cuomo to seal the deal, called the agreement one of the largest, most competitive economic development investments in U.S. history. Amazon received 238 proposals, including Syracuse and other upstate New York metro areas, before narrowing its list to 20 in January. By the way, this is coming from Syracuse.com.
Yeah.
So that's probably why they threw that in there. The Democratic governor said other states offered more incentives, such as $7 billion from New Jersey, $8.5 billion from Maryland, and $6 billion from Louisiana. Still, criticism came from the Post, the New York Times, CNN, its parent company Warner Media, and Syracuse.com. Some politicians, including, guess who?
Go ahead, who is it?
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
I knew it.
Also opposed the extremely concerning tax breaks.
Yeah.
The transaction...
That's right near her district, too.
It is, yeah. The transaction is a lightning rod for the political rhetoric on both extremes. The extreme conservatives and the socialists both now oppose incentives for Amazon, which is one of the most profitable companies in the country, Cuomo wrote. So what this sounds like to me is he is completely bought out now.
Oh, of course. Well, he always has been.
I know, but now it's clear.
But it's not Cuomo that I'm surprised by. It's de Blasio.
Yeah, de Blasio is right alongside with him. He's going in news conferences with him.
I'm not surprised, but it's more surprising than Cuomo.
Right, yeah.
Cuomo would sell his mother for a good corporate deal.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, and that's why when people talk about de Blasio as being a progressive, I don't know. I don't live in the city.
Well, you also have to remember he came after Bloomberg.
And technically Giuliani as well.
So.
Right. In comparison, he's progressive.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's like saying Obama's progressive compared to George W. Bush.
Yeah, but it's an improvement.
It is.
So.
But I don't know. My dad works in the city. He always talks about de Blasio, and he's like, oh, he's fine. Same thing as you said.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah, but, he's not great, but he's okay.
But he's definitely bought out.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely bought out. And if you didn't know that, then now you do.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
It's fucking insane.
Yep. So we'll see what happens with that. Georgia and Florida have officially recounted their votes, and nothing.
No.
We did not get any kind of changes, which is what we both talked about last week.
Recounts rarely overturn elections.
Very.
Except for the 2001, but...
Very rarely. Very
But
rarely.
luckily somebody's daddy stepped in and stopped that.
Yep. Stacey Abrams conceded. Andrew Gillum and Andrew Gillum and
Nelson.
Rick Nelson?
No.
Bill Nelson?
Bill Nelson.
Bill Nelson.
Rick Scott is the one who's running against
the
walking penis.
The walking penis.
Yeah.
But anyway, they're all
the much
they all
more
conceded.
frightening version of The Walking Dead, actually.
Yeah, no kidding, because he's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Republicans wiped those two states pretty much clean.
Yeah.
So no change coming from Georgia, which not as shocking.
Yeah.
Florida's actually
annoying.
had a chance, and you fucked it up, Florida. Again,
But it's not shocking that a state shaped like a penis would elect a guy and look like a penis.
It's actually, I consider Stacey Abrams' election, way more of a win, because a black woman almost won the governor race in Georgia with the guy who controls the election running against her.
Yeah, and they're going to sue him too, so that's cool.
And whatever comes from that, comes from that. But it means to me that we're close.
Yeah.
We're very close.
We're very close. Yeah.
Very close. So they should all be proud of themselves. Maybe out of all of them, Andrew Gillum should be the most disappointed. And I really believe that if he had just stayed with his progressive rhetoric.
Yeah, the centrism, I think, hurt.
All of a sudden, he switched over.
But they'll argue the opposite. So.
I know. Anyway, let's take a break. Hey, welcome back to the Dowcast, everybody. Joining us for his monthly visit to teach us about it's a monthly visit. It's not bi-monthly.
Just a weird way to say it.
It's a monthly visit.
I'm changing my name to Aunt Flo.
No.
To teach us about pop culture and probably Stan Lee. Please. Is Kevin from the Nerdy Things podcast. Kevin, how are you?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. Now, before we get into anything, because I'm sure there's actually quite a bit that you have to go over with us today, are you going to be partaking in drinking?
I was going to, but I had a rough day today. I actually got stuck at the grocery store for 2 hours because of all the blue hairs getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Oh,
No,
that
that's
sucks.
not fun.
Is Tuesdays normally like? Is that like senior day all across the country? Because I think it's a senior day here as well.
Maybe.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
they
know.
just they show up in that dial-up bus and just unload, and they go shopping and they take up every aisle, and they get really confused when they
yeah.
box you in and you can't go anywhere, but you're in their way. So
Yeah, of
it's
course,
great. It's wonderful.
of course. Yeah, I love it.
It's like a
I love
sport.
it. Yeah, I don't think Austin has that problem. I think he just orders groceries through an app and they deliver it to his house in New York.
Oh.
I do.
Yeah,
I
so
do
he's-
do that.
There you go.
Fancy.
Yeah, fuck you.
But I lived here for a long time, and I remember what it's like.
It sucks. Yeah, it's
When
pretty
you
bad.
have like the one old guy at the one end of the aisle, and then
Oh,
the
yeah.
wife is all the way
Oh,
at the
yeah.
other end, and they start moving towards you,
Oh,
and you're
my God.
like,
And
"Oh my god,
occasionally-
is this cocoon?"
and occasionally one of them wanders off to the self checkout line, and it's just a fucking disaster at that point.
Oh, it was a nightmare.
You know, what really pissed me off is they always assumed I worked there.
all the time.
It's
Yeah,
like,
I
no,
think
I don't work.
I don't think they assume anything. I think they just want help from anybody. And if you're around, they're like, "Oh, can you tell me what the expiration date on this?" And I'm like, no.
Do you know where I can find Poston? I don't think they've made that since the 50s.
Where's Circuit City? Even that's too high tech.
Anyway, so
but yeah,
suck it, old people.
Well, Austin and I are continuing our journey through the Weyerbacher Imperial Pumpkin Ale. What is the ABV on this? 75? 8% ABV. It's actually not as high as I thought it was for some reason.
Nice.
But we'll do a symbolic cheer and then we'll get right going.
Actually, it's not symbolic this time.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
There we go.
It's a real cheer. I forgot.
An actual cheers. I love it.
Oh, God.
I'm pretty sure we've at least consumed like 40% of what Weyerbacher made this year. The
I think
Imperial
so.
Pumpkin. I think it's just us.
You might have. I've been a little bit. This is only my second day of drinking in like the last 2 months, so I'm already pretty drunk, and I just took a sip. All right. So now before we get going, I have to tell you, I have to say one thing to you, Kevin. I've been waiting for you to come on the show for me to say this.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
Fuck you.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
Do you know why?
What for this time?
You may be interested in Harry Potter. You're in your fucking podcast. Yeah. I know. I never ever thought that I would be interested in a Harry Potter podcast. I started listening to I forgot which one, because I'm not obviously an expert in Harry Potter, but on my way home from visiting you, Austin, I was on the bus and I was like, oh, they put out an episode, perfect. And I listened, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is like, oh, it's a Harry Potter episode. I'm like, oh, fucking crash the bus now. And but I thoroughly enjoyed it to the point where I went on Hulu and I looked for Harry Potter. I didn't watch it though.
No,
But
I
I'm
wouldn't
interested.
expect you to.
But I'm interested. I might watch the first episode, the first movie, and see if I like it.
Well, they are interesting. I mean, it really is. We actually just finished recording the episode for book 7 and movies 7 and 8.
Okay.
So that'll be going up in a couple of days. But it's fascinating. I'm going to see Fantastic Beasts, or Fantastic Beasts 2, the second Fantastic Beasts movie, which is a prequel to the Harry Potter movies. I'm going to see that tonight, so that should be fun.
Well, very good. Well, now before we go on, properly introduce your segment. It is the Not Politics Report. Okay, so I am sure that you have quite a bit to tell us there, Kevin. So why don't you get started and tell us what we've missed over the past month?
Absolutely. So, Tom, I know this is one of only 2 days you've been drinking in the past little while.
Yes.
So be sure to pour some out for Stan Lee, who passed on November 12th. And he lived to the ripe old age of 95?
It was old. Yeah, he was old.
Yeah. He is the face of Marvel Comics. He is credited with creating, or at least making popular, a lot of the heroes that everybody knows, as far as Spider-Man and X-Men.
Ant-Man.
Apparently, beloved by everyone on the planet except Bill Maher. So, really,
Wait. I you know what? There's a lot of things I could have expected to happen in this conversation. Bill Maher popping up out of your mouth, not what I expected. What do you mean?
Oh, you hadn't heard? Oh,
No.
Fantastic. So, Bill Maher,
Austin's rolling his eyes. Okay, what happened to Bill Maher?
he posted on his website. Apparently, he has a website called Adulting.
Something he's
or
not familiar
a
with.
post called Adulting. But on his website, he put a post up there that said the guy who created Spider-Man and the Hulk has died, and America is now in mourning, deep, deep mourning for a man who inspired millions to, I don't know, watch a movie, I guess. So Stan Lee's estate is really up in arms about this because this is really insensitive.
No kidding.
Yeah. And Bill Maher went on. He's talking about how the problem is we're using our smarts on stupid stuff. And he doesn't think it's a huge stretch to suggest that Donald Trump could only get elected in a country that thinks comic books are important.
But lots of countries think comic books are important.
Yep.
Wow,
And-
I didn't realize this was a thing.
Of course, there is
Yeah.
a wave of right-wing extremism. So,
Well, yeah, there's that
but
too. But
comics have been important to countries for a long time.
no shit. Wow,
Oh, yeah.
that's something I didn't expect Bill Maher. Well, you know what?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you
Why
kind of do
not?
expect that from Bill Maher.
Yeah, we can stop you. We can let you have that one back because I do expect this out of him.
Yeah. Well, other than him, I mean, the entire world is definitely in mourning. Now, I'm obviously not very
Well, except
proficient.
for maybe DC.
Well, yeah. Probably. I bet
no,
you even they
honestly,
are.
Even DC had a lot of really nice things to say because Stan Lee and the fact that he kept Marvel going has done nothing but help DC. If you want the honest answer for that.
Yeah.
Even the fact that they created the Marvel Cinematic Universe has helped DC. They haven't capitalized on it. They haven't done a good movie yet.
But it definitely, I mean, just look at it this way. It's definitely motivated them to stay, connected and to stay relevant because if if you don't have Marvel and you just have DC, they could do whatever the fuck they want. But because Marvel is putting out all these great products, wouldn't DC naturally get better?
Well, you'd
No.
think so, but you wouldn't know it by the movies they've been putting out.
What,
No.
give me an example. Well, no, you know what, don't, because it's not going to matter. I'm not going to know
Suicide Squad.
I don't know what that is.
So, okay, 1 year ago, this past weekend, the Justice League debuted to a $95 million opening weekend.
Is that DC or Marvel?
DC.
That's DC.
Okay.
That's a decent opening weekend. In fact, that's 30 some odd million dollars more than Fantastic Beasts 2 in the same weekend.
Nice.
So Fantastic Beasts 2 is $12 million behind where Fantastic Beasts 1 was for the first weekend. So there's a little bit of a dip. But Justice League at $95 million was decently strong, and then it dipped horribly. Marvel's Venom, or Fox's Marvel's Venom, has passed that. The overall
Marvelous
earnings.
Mr. Fox's Venom.
Right? Exactly. It's so confusing. But so Venom is a terrible shit movie about a one character from one comic that doesn't involve Spider-Man, and it should. And it has passed the $600 million mark, a mark
shit.
that Justice League has not hit. So a crap Marvel movie has blown away DC's flagship movie.
By a lot. That's not even
By a lot.
close, Kevin.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I thought a lot of people liked Venom. I could have sworn I saw a lot of people were really actually
Well,
liking it.
a lot of people liked the T-shirt in the early 2000s. I remember that.
The what?
Right.
There was a Venom T-shirt,
Oh,
basically.
really?
Yeah.
So people liked the character, but the movie
yeah.
itself wasn't good.
Well, I mean, this
Yeah.
was the first movie. Well, other than that horrible Spider-Man.
We
3,
don't talk about that.
The,
Sorry,
the
yeah,
third one?
Yeah,
was
we
it?
don't talk about that.
Oh no, we don't.
No.
It's bad.
But
I wanna talk about it.
I haven't seen Venom, and I have some friends who tell me I should. They tell me it's a better movie than I suspect it to be. I don't believe them. I
Yeah,
really
I was
don't.
going to say, I don't think that's true. I haven't seen it either, but something tells me that it's not.
Right.
It's probably exactly what you expect.
At some point, I'll rent it using the money I've earned by answering Google's "Have you visited this place recently?" surveys. And it's like, yes, Google, I was just there 5 minutes ago. Why do we have to pretend you don't know that?
Yeah.
They're just confirming. They're just confirming.
You're asking me if I was at Savers, the Bank of Omaha, University of California, somewhere in Texas. Obviously, I was at Savers. Like, come on, man.
That's pretty funny, actually.
I know why you're asking.
I like how people are like so afraid of like Google knowing your location and all that. I'm like, bitch, they already know where you are.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
It's not that hard to find out where you are.
Exactly.
All right, so that's interesting. I'm kind of shocked at 600 million. That 600 million number to 95 million is
Yeah.
actually hilariously bad for DC. What's
So
like the
that's-
best DC movie?
Probably Justice League at this
Oh,
point.
well, I mean, as far as
I'd
like
have to check.
quality wise and all that.
Yeah, still that.
Oh, okay.
Aquaman's coming
Yeah.
up. Aquaman has a release date of December 4th, I think it is, something like that. December something.
Aquaman is like
December-
the worst
I'm sorry.
superhero of all time.
December 21st. Right. And this movie looks okay. I mean, it looks much better than I would have expected. Okay. They just had the final trailer for it released the other day. Final trailer is 233 minutes. 2 minutes, 33 seconds.
I was going to say, holy shit. That's a movie.
Right? Holy crap. They gave away everything.
If that's the trailer, how long's the fucking movie?
No.
They give it to Tarantino.
Right. God, where's my brain? So
That's okay.
people are complaining that this trailer does give away the whole movie. Apparently the director, James Wan, who has done Fast and the Furious and a bunch of other movies, has tweeted out that this doesn't necessarily ruin the movie and that you do have to experience it on the big screen.
Not necessarily. It doesn't necessarily ruin the movie. So he's saying it ruins most of the movie. That's pretty much what he's saying.
Yeah, part of the problem is that trailers like this, they don't get made by the director of the movie. They get made by a company that is paid to advertise the movie. And so that company doesn't necessarily know the whole story or care what they're ruining for fans.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
so when you get to the final trailers of things, you need to not watch them.
Is that common for all movies?
Yes.
It is.
It is, yeah. It's very rare that you find that something doesn't get spoiled in the movies. I think Marvel is one of the only ones that has started trying to take control over what gets shown so that they will, like, they can better control what is and isn't shown in them so that they can control what is and isn't spoiled.
That makes sense. I mean, it makes sense to do that. It's your movie.
Well, that's why I like indie movies, because more than half the time, you go in not knowing anything.
Because there's no trailer.
Yeah, there's just nothing. You just you see it and it's like,
you go by the title.
This could be anything.
Yeah, you go by the title, but it's an indie movie, so the title probably has nothing to do with the movie.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Sunrise Percocet, that looks good.
It's about a cat, and it's about a cat that talks.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh, there was a horrible movie with Kevin Spacey who he played a cat that talks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't Garfield.
No.
I was like, that plot seems very familiar.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
God.
This cat hated Wednesdays.
Did the cat that
And
Kevin
consent,
Spacey
apparently.
play? I was going to say, yeah. Did he like bunnies?
I don't know what he
Sorry, that's a racy Kevin Spacey joke. And that
God.
rhymed.
That was not great.
Speaking of talking
Yeah.
animals, have you seen the trailer for Pokemon Detective Pikachu?
I have.
I bet
You have.
I have, yeah. I'm going to see that movie for sure. I think that just looks. I don't know if it looks good or if it looks bad. I don't know if I liked it or hated it, but it's
you're gonna see it.
It's something completely different. I've never seen something like that before.
Okay.
It's pretty much
It
like
is.
a live animated Pikachu. It looks fuzzy and stuff like that, but he talks like who's the voice actor for Pikachu? It's a well-known actor.
Yeah, that's Ryan Reynolds, the voice of Deadpool.
There you go.
That's interesting.
So it's like, he goes, Pika, Pika, and then all of a sudden, like, the one person who understands him, and he's just like, hey, how you doing? That concept seems so funny to me, so I'll probably end up watching that.
Okay.
I actually can't wait for this. I'm not a huge Pokemon fan, but this movie looks amazing. My wife is dreading being dragged to it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how awesome it would be if I was like, hey, let's go watch a movie. He's like, yeah, what do you want to go see? I'm like, the Pikachu movie. And they'd be like, no, we're going to go watch,
No,
we're going to go watch an
the
indie
police
film.
would be asking me where the body is.
No, they wouldn't. No one would look for me. My mom would be the only one, and that would be like after 2 months. She'd be like, I wonder where he's been.
He hasn't been answering my texts.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it does look really cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think that's gonna be a fun movie. Hopefully.
Yeah. Comes out May 10th. We've had one trailer and people have already dissected the crap out of it. There's a ton of stuff in this for fans of Pokemon. Mm-hmm. And it's just like really cohesive. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, that's good. I thought you were when you said dissecting. I thought it was gonna be like the Pokemon fans are gonna rip it apart because you can't take this movie seriously. It's not.
No.
It's not It's not intended to be a Pokemon movie. It's supposed to be like not a take on Pokemon, but I don't even know how to explain it. It's just you can't take it seriously if you're a Pokemon fan. Now, what they should do is they should come out with Power Rangers too. Because
is there
I'm dying
something
for
you
it.
should take serious if you're a Pokemon fan?
Yes. Are you kidding me? Kevin, did you see the first Pokemon movie?
Yeah.
Did you not cry when Ash was turned into stone and the tears of Pikachu and the other Pokemon brought him to life?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I did.
Oh, Tom.
That was so sad. So fun.
Okay.
Good moment. Pokemon for life.
Oh
That was my grinder name. Also explains a lot.
Of course it was. Oh God.
All right. What else? Hey, before you go on, did you see Bohemian Rhapsody?
I didn't. I actually managed to miss it, unfortunately.
Oh, I've been dying to talk about this.
Here we go.
I was hoping that you had seen it because
Go ahead,
you
Tom.
haven't seen it either. Else, no, it's not. No, it's okay. It's okay. No, this is Kevin's segment. I don't want to interfere. I was hoping he had seen it, then we could talk about how much.
I was planning on it, but I just never got to it. My co-hosts Jules and Tim, they have seen it. They thought it was adequate.
Are they
some
Queen
liberties with
fans,
story. Yeah, it was a good excuse to listen to the music. Was the last thing I heard from it. So.
That's appropriate. That's appropriate. I mean, if you're a diehard Queen fan like I am, you'll be happy about it, but you'll also be extremely disappointed because the movie itself is actually pretty good, but the timeline in it is just I don't know what drugs they were on. And then I also found out the director was like a pedophile, and it's just like
Yeah, it's not great.
no, Bryan Singer,
Yeah.
I think his name is. Yeah, so everything about that at the end kind of got bad. But anyway, what else you got?
So to tide us over while we're waiting for the Detective Pikachu movie, we're getting Once Upon a Deadpool. Have you heard anything about this?
No,
This
not
is
not at
the
all.
PG-13 cut of Deadpool.
What?
So, yes.
Why?
So they went back and they decided to make a PG-13 cut that actually has the same framework as a Princess Bride.
Get the fuck out of here.
So
why?
it's Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool reading the story of Deadpool to Fred Savage, whom he has kidnapped to embody the childlike innocence they need to hit a PG-13 rating.
I don't like any of what you just said. I don't like any of it.
You should.
know who
It
Fred Savage
actually
is?
looks amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I only know Fred Savage because his younger brother was Corey from Boy Meets World.
Gotcha.
Ben Savage. Sorry.
Oh, God.
It's actually
What?
it's not a bad name.
Ben Savage?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, why'd you say, oh, God? Are you not a Boy Meets World fan? Because you're fired if you're not.
I'm not. No, thank you.
You're fine.
Though.
Did you never see the Wonder Years?
No.
Okay.
What's that? Movie?
No.
No.
We'll just move on.
Okay.
Moving on.
A PG-13
Oh, God.
Deadpool sounds awful. It really does. Like, that's taken away from the point. It was supposed to be like a raunchy superhero. It's supposed to be like
Absolutely.
the
Watch the
anti-superhero.
trailer.
Go ahead.
You're going to love it. They've added a bunch of jokes to it, and they've done it in a way that this is Deadpool. It's still Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
It gets what you're saying, and it addresses it head on. Like
Gotcha.
this looks like this has potential to be phenomenal. They're doing
Seriously.
a limited theatrical release, but they're doing this mostly for like Blu-ray and digital. So I can kind of get behind it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I mean, yeah, hopefully you go see it, because if you see it, then you can let us know if it was actually any good. Because actually, I like Deadpool. I thought that was a great movie.
It was a good
I
movie,
laughed
yeah.
the entire way through it. So if it's as good as that, or if it's just maybe not as good, but almost, I'll definitely watch it.
Yeah, I mean, he actually takes a dig at the fact that Deadpool is not a true Marvel movie in it. There's a line that they show in the trailers where he talks about how, you know, it's not going to be good like a Marvel movie is, and Deadpool gets all offended. He says, you know, it's like if the Beatles were produced by Nickelback. It's still music, but you know, it's crap.
That's really good. That's really good. Okay. All right, you're selling me a little bit more. I like that.
Yeah, it should be fun. I think it'll be worth watching at the very least, just
Okay.
for the novelty of it.
Sure.
You know, like there's an upcoming Holmes and Watson starring John C. Reilly and Will
John H.
Ferrell
Benjamin?
as Sherlock
Oh.
Holmes.
Oh yeah.
So,
I saw
this
a
is-
trailer for that.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is like a Ricky Bobby Talladega Nights movie with them.
wish
They're
you had-
idiots, and I love them.
I wish you hadn't said that. Like,
I hated that movie, but they are fantastic.
So I guess I'm going to be the minority when it comes to this, but I hate Will Ferrell's movies. I really think they're not funny. I've tried to sit through almost every Christmas. I try to watch Elf. I can't stand it. I can't watch.
Then why do you try to watch it again?
Because everyone tells me to, and they're like, "Oh, you're missing this point," and I'm like, "Okay, fine, I'll try again." I've never finished the movie, never. Can't finish it. I don't know. Will Ferrell's just not funny to me. The only time he was funny was when he was impersonating George W. Bush, and his SNL skits are pretty funny too. But like his movies, I don't like them.
Okay.
I know I'm the minority, and I'm sure
You're allowed to be wrong. Yeah. I mean, for the first time, you're a minority. We got to be pretty fun.
I know. I've been working hard on becoming a minority.
I have to say, I don't like all of his movies, but I don't know. I find him generally kind of funny.
Really?
Yeah. There's something
more from you.
in each of them. And sometimes you do need multiple watches of them, which is not a glowing review, but it's true.
No, it's not.
Although I have to admit, my favorite ones of his are the dramas, actually.
He has
Like,
dramas too?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, kind of. Like the Stranger Than Fiction's like a comedy drama.
I don't know that one.
And Everything Must Go. That was pretty dark.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, those are two of my favorites.
Those are things I've never. So it's sort of like Robin Williams. Whenever he put out like a more serious movie,
those are my favorites of his too.
they were really good, and his comedies just weren't that funny to me.
Yeah.
But I guess I got to look into those. Maybe I'll
like-
maybe
well,
I'll
I
appreciate
think
them
you'd like Stranger Than Fiction. It's about he's just a normal guy who's kind of neurotic, but all of a sudden he wakes up one day and his life is being narrated.
more. Oh shit! Oh,
Yeah.
so it's almost like the Truman Show in a way.
Kind
it was
of
great.
but it's more
Sort of.
Yeah, it's
See, I
weirder
love
than
the
that.
Truman. I
It
love
calls
the
into
Truman
question
Show.
free will. Like Truman Show is at least like he has free will. They're watching him, and as soon as he finds out, he can mess with them.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
with this, it's like, what is free will even? Does he have it? Is it?
Free
is
will,
his life
forget it.
just a story? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little more metaphysical.
That sounds pretty cool, though.
It is. It's really good.
Stuff like that, I think I would like.
Yeah.
It's almost like that with every comedian, like of that slapstick kind of, like Adam
then-
Sandler.
yeah.
Whenever he only had like a couple serious movies that I can think of, but I liked them. I thought they were pretty good movies.
I can only think of one that I liked.
There was a 9/11 movie that I really liked. I can't remember.
Oh, that was Rain on Me.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good.
I liked. He did Punch Drunk Love.
That was I remember that
Yep.
one.
I
That was
like
good
that
too.
one, Yeah.
I mean, one of Will Ferrell's best serious roles was as the villain in the Lego Movie too.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh, I have to admit, I also liked Will Ferrell as Mugatu. in
Mugatu.
Zoolander. Yeah.
In
I
what?
feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
Zoolander.
Oh, Zoolander. I've heard
Yeah.
of that movie. That's
Yeah.
with Ben Stiller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've definitely never seen that because it just does not look
What?
like it doesn't look like something I'd like.
It's funny.
But like, why male models?
Oh, that's right. That's what they are, right?
Yeah.
Ben Stiller's like a
Yeah.
male model or something like that.
like when they throw the computer down and it smashes and they're like, where are all the files?
Oh God. Everything about that movie is just terrible, and I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But unfortunately, the second one, everything about it's terrible.
And it's
It was
just
terrible.
terrible.
And it was
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
It's like that with a lot, like Caddyshack. Caddyshack was it's great.
Yeah.
It's so stupid that it really worked out. The second,
But that
and the
that
third,
magic, I think, can only work once.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah,
I,
And I
that's-
think Dumb and Dumber is the same way. It's
Say-
like,
yeah.
that
Oh,
only
God,
works
yeah.
that one time.
Yep. Wayne's World too, by the way.
Hopefully,
forgot
the
they made a
Lego
second
Movie isn't one of those because they are doing a sequel to the Lego Movie that comes out February 8th.
Well, they've kind of done like proto sequels, haven't they? With like they did
Sort
the
of,
Batman
yeah.
Lego Movie and
They did Lego Ninjago, but
Yeah.
this is a true sequel starring the characters from that movie, including Batman. And this too looks fantastic. Like, I don't think Will Ferrell's in this one. I haven't seen him in anything.
but it sounds
this
like
is-
Will Arnett is. That's exciting.
Will Arnett is. There are just like, this is such a stupid premise.
I like it so far.
But I can't help but want to see this movie. So this is the Lego world from the first one gets invaded, and it becomes this like Mad Max post-apocalypse world because of the toys from the kid's sister in this.
Okay, I could back
I like
this.
it,
I
yeah.
could back this.
I like it.
And so it's just this story of like Emmett, the main character, played by the guy from Chris Pratt from Jurassic World and all those,
yeah.
like going into space to save his friends, including but not limited to Batman and several others. It looks so absurd and so funny
That it'll work.
it has to work. Like it really does.
Yeah.
There's no downside to this because they can literally have anything happen in these movies. And as long as they make it look like Lego, it's fine. It fits.
Yeah.
You can bring in Star Wars and Superman, and they've got the Statue of Liberty on its side, like from Planet of the Apes. And they've got a giant walking pirate ship pirate that played by, Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. So, I mean, come on. There's nothing bad with this.
There's a lot of different varieties going into this, it sounds like.
Yeah,
a lot of
pretty
names
much.
you don't know, apparently.
I don't... Shit, I don't know any of the people you just said. Batman. I've heard of Batman.
Moving on. God damn it.
Okay, so a couple exciting different movies coming out. What else you got for us?
We've got also the upcoming Captain Marvel movie and Into the Spider-Verse with Spider-Man. So those are two that I am super looking forward to. Spider-Verse comes out first. That's December 14th. Captain Marvel is going to be March 8th. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is sort of an animated Spider-Man movie that takes different Spider-Man incarnations from different worlds and mashes them together to save the multiverse. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, Spider-Man's always my favorite. I am so looking forward to this.
Okay. Did you play the Spider-Man video game?
I did.
I heard it was really good. Did you like it?
I haven't finished it, but I did like it. It was kind of phenomenal. Like,
it's just gorgeous looking.
Nice.
That's for sure.
Yeah. Felt natural. Like, there was nothing in it where I was ever like, oh, this is stupid.
Okay.
It has a lot of like little tiny nods to Spider-Man's stories throughout the years. You find backpacks, you find different villains, even though like these are new incarnations of these villains, it didn't feel like it was shoehorned in.
Okay.
Nice.
And I get the feeling from this movie trailer that they're doing a similar thing with this, where it's not the same story. But again, you accept it because it's fine. Like, it's a good telling of this story.
That sounds exciting, actually.
Yeah, sure.
I have to say, I haven't been able to take in any pop culture lately because I've just been playing Red Dead Redemption in my spare moments. The few that I have, because I've been waiting for that game for a decade.
Oh, yeah.
There you
all
go.
of us have been, yeah.
And I don't know. I finished it, and I thought it was amazing.
Yeah.
Tom hasn't. You haven't really started it yet, have you?
I did, and I got through a little bit, but I didn't have enough time because that game is so time-consuming. I wanted to get really immersed into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of great video games have come out over the past couple of months, which is why I asked about the Spider-Man, because that was kind of a weird time for video games to come out. Yeah. And when that came out, it was like everyone was playing that. But I don't know anything about Spider-Man, so I didn't even bother.
Well, you don't have a PlayStation.
It's a good game anyway.
Exactly. Anyway, Kevin, thank you so much.
Thank you.
One of the things I'm definitely taking from this is rest in peace, Stan Lee. I'm not it's not a secret. I'm not a comic book enthusiast, but that name is such a famous name in comic book lore. And when I saw that on my phone, that he passed away, and he didn't even pass away from like old age. It was like a pneumonia. It's like technically old age didn't get him, a sickness did. But other than that, thank you for the update, and looks like there's a lot of good movies coming out, which I'm pretty excited for. Now I'm starting to see movies again, so I'm pretty excited for that. Yep. Go ahead, take this time and plug everything that you need and want to plug.
Absolutely. So if you want to hear more from me, I am also part of the podcast Everything is Fine, a Good Place podcast, which does an episode-by-episode recap of NBC's hit show, The Good Place. We are going to be taking a little hiatus as they do a mid-season break, but you will get an episode after December 6th, and then again we'll start up in January. And then you will find sporadic updates on Nerdy Things Podcast, which you can find by searching for Nerdy Things Podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. And we will have updates whenever there are nerdy things that catch our attention that we feel you need to hear our opinion on.
Very good. Very good. Yep, absolutely. Like I said, I wasn't joking. I actually am somewhat interested in Harry Potter, and I thought that was an impossible thing for me to ever even say. But listening to your podcast actually made me sort of interested in Harry Potter, which is a huge achievement. You should make that like your motto. We may Tom like Harry Potter, or think about. We're
gonna make
Harry
a badge for the website. You're right. We'll make a little decal.
Seriously. So it's a great podcast. Make sure you, whoever's listening goes and listens to the Nerdy Things podcast as well. Thank you, Kevin. We'll be in touch again for your December update. Make sure you watch a lot of movies for us, please.
Sounds good.
Because we're going to be fucking busy as shit. We're not going to watch any movies recently. We'll be back with our final thoughts. Yeah, Austin's nodding yes. Final thoughts coming up next. And so ends our big dumb show. Austin, I know you're in a rush, so tell me what your final thoughts are.
No. Just kidding. No, of course, I want to thank both our guests for being on the show. Sarah Smith, thank you for coming on again. I'm not entirely sure why she thinks we're worthy of, of gracing with her presence, but whatever.
I don't know. But thank you for that.
And Kevin, of course, for, just making me remember all the reasons I'm mad at Tom all the time.
Yep.
And, of course, Trump had a week.
Another, really,
it's not that unusual. I mean,
this is like the slowest week he's had, and it's awful.
Yeah. And, of course, another shooting. And California's on fire. Mm-hmm. I mean,
so pretty much everything's falling apart.
Yeah,
everything,
is about to be expected.
Sounds about right.
I think this is like if you had looked at the beginning, like right after he got elected, and said, at this point in his presidency, only one state will be on fire. Like, oh, it's doing pretty well.
We would take it. Yeah, we would take it. And if it was California, we'd be like, okay,
yeah,
sure,
yeah, California. I mean. It's like a horror show out there, though.
Yeah,
it's
bad.
like Mad Max.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
And if only they had raked.
Yeah, I'm really disappointed. They
like
should
Finland.
they should have invested more, like Finland.
I'll agree with the president. We should all be more like Finland.
You know what? That's probably the one and only thing that I would agree with.
Yeah.
Should
all be more like Finland.
It's funny how when he goes to Australia, he compliments their healthcare system, which is universal healthcare. And then he goes,
and it's literally called Medicare.
And then he goes to Finland, and he's like, "Oh, we got to be more like Finland." Yeah, it's funny how those policies seem to work.
Yeah,
it's weird, isn't it? Yeah, but it won't happen in America because we're too popular.
I don't even think we got to talk about his disastrous trip to France.
We didn't. Well, I think we covered a little bit last week.
But everybody, I mean, it's
yeah. There's too much.
But yeah, it's just. But now that the midterms are over, it's 2020.
Yep.
Then hopefully we don't have to think about Donald Trump ever again until he comes up on trial.
We have 2 years of pretty much blocking Trump at the very least. I would like more to be done, but at the very least we can block Trump for 2 years. So I mean, that's something. But
whatever, less work for me.
Yeah, I guess he's just going to golf more. That's okay. Go golfing.
Oh, please do. The country is much safer when he's golfing.
So much safer.
But anyway, go ahead, Tom. What are your final thoughts?
That's the same exact thing. Thank you, Sarah Smith, for coming on. So I know you're really busy, and even though it seems like she's not done talking about politics at all, I can understand wanting a couple weeks off, but she still decided to come on. So thank you so much, and thank you, Kevin, once again for the awesome update. Next week we have Steven. He'll give us our Not America report. Doesn't work as well as Kevin.
No,
doesn't. But only one guest next week, so we'll have our Twitter time back for next week and all that.
We are inching closer to our 100th episode.
We are 4 episodes away. And take a guess if what do you think? Do you think Austin and I have a plan for the 100th episode? I'll give you a hint. It starts with N and rhymes with ho.
Yeah, we have several ideas. No concrete plan.
It's just liquid. It's not concrete at all. It's liquid and it's overflowing.
It's still being mixed and it's not
with
great.
our toes. We're mixing it with our feet. That's how fucking slow it's going.
I think Tom's stuck in it right now.
I am,
But I don't know. We'll take suggestions too, if anybody.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think we should do for our 100th?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a couple people I'm reaching out to and stuff. I know, 100 episodes. We started this.
And it's coming up so fast.
We started this 2 years ago.
I cannot believe we're at 96.
In this basement.
Yeah.
Over across, and we're just like, you want to do a podcast? Yeah, sure, let's go do a podcast. And here we are, almost 100 episodes later. It's fucking nuts, man.
But I'm very much looking forward to 100th episode.
I'm looking forward to 101 because it's after a 4-week break.
By the way, the first break we've taken.
Yeah, the entire show.
It'll be over close to a year.
2 years, a little under 2 years.
Yeah, a little under 2 years.
Yeah, so. We're coming back for our 2 year. The day that we come back is our 2 year anniversary, which is about like a 3 or 4 week period in between. But our first break. And you know what? I'm looking forward to staying away from politics for like 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read anything about it. Unless something major happens, I'm not going to pay attention to it.
Need a break.
I just want a break. I'm so burnt out from politics.
And the listeners should be excited because if we're taking a break, that means that'll probably be when the Mueller investigation finishes.
Yeah. You know how much shit is going to happen in that fucking 3-week period.
Yeah.
We're going to end up not doing a 3-week period. We're just going to be like, hey, we're here. We have to talk about stuff. Otherwise, it's going to be a 17-hour episode like today.
And famous Stan Lee hater Bill Maher, I mean, he's taken he's taken till January off.
John Oliver is one of my favorite people in the world. But that motherfucker takes so many vacations and breaks. He comes back for 6 episodes. He's like, oh, we're done for the year. I'm like, what do you mean you're done for the year? What do you mean? You don't do anything. The writers do the stuff.
Ouch. All right.
I love John Oliver. Yeah. I talk about him all the time on the show. He's one of my favorite people. I love his show. But come on, man. Power through the holidays.
Yeah.
I guess this technically is a good time to take breaks because Congress is not doing anything.
And then we'll be back right around when they swear the new Congress in.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a little bit before that.
A little bit, yeah. So anyway, we're looking forward to having time off. But in the meantime, we got a couple of episodes left, and we're going to try to make it as fun as possible. So,
and of course, I hope everybody has a really nice Thanksgiving.
Of course, yeah.
And make sure you drink a lot. Especially if you're around your racist family members.
Oh! Guess who I'm going to be around?
Yes, you,
My
Tom.
racist family members.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to New York to visit them, and
I'm going to stay right here, where it actually makes more sense.
This is going to sound really fucked up, but like I really don't care about my grandfather at all. He's a really horrible human being. Really horrible. The only thing that he did good was he helped make my dad. Only good thing. Every time I go visit him, he gives me $100.
Does he?
That's all I want from him. Like, I just want to go into his house, hear him talk about Trump and his broken English, and then he hands me $100 on my way out, and I'm like, I love you. Thank you.
It's funny. Does he realize that he was an immigrant?
No.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Because other than Italians and white people, he's so racist.
Yeah.
So racist and so hateful.
Yeah.
His neighbors are Puerto Rican. He lives in Queens. Of course, they're fucking Puerto Rican. And he is so hateful toward them. So bad. I'm not even going to say what he says about them. It's disgusting. I hate visiting him, but I get $100. It's not the worst deal in the world. It's not. I can be bought.
I can be bought, yeah.
I'm getting to the point where I'm about to ask him for $150.
Well, yeah, the price is going up.
It's got to go up because the older he gets, the more intolerable he gets.
Yeah.
Or maybe the less tolerable I get because I'm very angry most of my life.
So much for the tolerant left.
Fuck that shit. But hey, happy holidays. Enjoy it. Drink. I'll probably be drinking a little bit as well. I need to.
Yeah. And then, so everybody enjoy your Thanksgiving, and next week we'll be back to start to ramp up the war on Christmas.
Yeah. Yes. And Austin and I are actually going to be recording from now on Thursdays.
Yes. Yeah. We're switching the release schedule. So we're going to be recording on Thursdays, and the episodes will be releasing Monday.
Are we starting that before the next season, or?
We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, you get the show when you get the show.
I think that'll be better.
You want to change that? Go to patreon.com/dumbleoverpod, and you can help change that.
Yeah.
You could decide when our show comes out. Lots of money.
If we could get to like $1,000 an episode, we'll do a show every day.
Oh, I will gladly do a show a day for $500. Are you kidding? Fuck it, $100 every day.
That'd be pretty good. Yeah, not bad.
I mean,
for a couple hours of work, yeah.
It's more than I'm making now. So, God bless America.
Yeah.
And, yep, that's it. Pre-recorded Tom, take it away. Once again, thank you so much for listening. As always, you can find us on Spreaker.com/DumbleOverPod. We're also available on iTunes. Just look up DumbleOverPod. We are on all the social medias, starting with Twitter @DumbleOverPod, Facebook @DumbleOverPod, and of course there's Instagram. And you guessed it, it's @DumbleOverPod. We are also on Patreon, so check out our Patreon at patreon.com/DumbleOverPod. And if you're interested in buying some merch with some special logos, you can check that out at tpublic.com/user/DumbleOverPod. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next week.
Trust me, I'm like a smart person.